Arcadian Vanguard presents The Wrestling News in your daily wrestling newscast for Tuesday, February 21st, 2023. Good morning, I'm Mike Sempervive. We begin this morning with last night's WWE Monday Night Raw emanating from the Canadian Tire Center in Ottawa. In the main event, United States Champion Austin Theory successfully defended against Edge, pinning him after illegal outside interference from Finn Balor of Judgment Day. Balor then attacked Edge after the match, hitting him 3 times with his coup de grace finisher to end the show.
From the top, Edge in the drop zone, coup de grace from Finn Balor. Balor with a warning, this is not over.
Oh, no, come on, enough is enough.
Just the beginning.
Balor, coup de grace again on Edge.
The match marked Edge's first time competing for the United States title since unifying it with the Intercontinental title over 21 years ago at the 2001 Survivor Series. It was Edge's first match on Monday Night Raw in 5 months, as well as his first time contending for any title since his Universal Championship match with Roman Reigns at Money in the Bank in 2021. The opening segment of Raw saw Sami Zayn address his fellow Canadians regarding his loss to Roman Reigns last weekend at Elimination Chamber, and also featured a confrontation with Kevin Owens, who appeared to come to Zayn's aid after the match. Zayn proposed an alliance with Owens to oppose the Bloodline, but Owens refused.
I didn't do it for you. You know who I did it for? I did it for my family. Because Saturday they were in the front row, but at the Royal Rumble, they're all sitting at home and they had to watch me get the hell beaten out of me by the Bloodline while you stood there and watched it happen, by the way. That's why I did it for me, because I needed to hurt the Bloodline. I did it for your family, your wife, your dad, your son, so that they wouldn't have to watch you get the hell beaten out of you like my family had to watch it happen. That's why I did it, okay? I've been fighting the Bloodline for months on my own. And as far as I'm concerned, that's fine, and that's the way I'm gonna keep fighting them. Okay? Because I still mean everything I said back in November after Survivor Series. I told you I was done with you, and that stands today. But hey, guess what? If you need help taking down the Bloodline, just ask your buddy Jay.
Conclusion of the segment, Zayn was ambushed on the entrance ramp by Baron Corbin, leading to a match between the two that was won by Zayn. Also on the show, Lita and Becky Lynch issued a challenge to WWE Women's Tag Team Champions Io Sky and Dakota Kai. The challenge occurred while Sky and Kai were guests on Bayley's Ding Dong Hello interview segment. Later in the show, it was announced that the two teams would face off for the title on next week's Raw. In other results, Bobby Lashley attacked Elias during an in-ring promo segment, Seth Rollins defeated The Miz via referee stoppage, Asuka beat Nikki Cross by submission, Mustafa Ali pinned Dolph Ziggler, and Bronson Reed went over Chad Gable. With some more WWE news, here's the Wrestling News' Lou Kipilman.
John Cena will be returning to WWE television on March 6th. According to an official announcement yesterday. The 16-time former world champion is scheduled to appear on that evening's episode of Monday Night Raw, live from the TD Garden in Boston, in his home state of Massachusetts. Cena was reported to have previously filmed an as-yet unaired segment with U.S. champion Austin Theory, but it's not known if that would be airing either during the episode or in the lead-up to it. Cena vs. Theory has been heavily rumored for WrestleMania. The March 6th Raw will be Cena's first WWE appearance since the final SmackDown of last year, during which he teamed with Kevin Owens to defeat Sami Zayn and WWE Universal Champion Roman Reigns. For the Wrestling News, I'm Lou Kipilman.
In an update on the family of the late Jamin Pugh, a.k.a. Jay Briscoe, Pugh's daughter Gracie has been released from the hospital and will return to her home in Laurel, Delaware to begin in-home physical rehabilitation, according to an announcement yesterday morning from her mother, Ashley. Gracie had been hospitalized for over a month following the auto accident that injured her and her sister Jayce and took the life of their father. She had undergone emergency back surgery after initially losing feeling and movement in her legs, some of which has returned post-surgery. With some streaming news, here's the Wrestling News' Lou Kipilman.
WWE has added more classic content to Peacock and the WWE Network. Following the initial release of several episodes of WWF Championship Wrestling from early 1980, now available are 10 more episodes of Championship Wrestling from the spring of 1980, covering the April 19th through June 21st episodes. Among the highlights of the newly added episodes are Pedro Morales' return to the WWF after a 5-year absence, the TV debut of Rick McGraw, WWF World Champion Bob Backlund vs. Jose Estrada, appearances by NWA World Champion Harley Race, arena footage of the Wild Samoans winning the WWF World Tag Team title from Tito Santana and Ivan Putski, and Ken Patera winning the Intercontinental title from Pat Patterson, a rookie Jim Duggan in his first WWF run, as well as the continuation of the Bruno Sammartino-Larry Zbyszko feud. For the Wrestling News, I'm Lou Kipilman.
Turning to Japan, legendary pro wrestling personality Keiji Muto's retirement tour came to an end today as the 60-year-old lost his final match in 28 minutes and 58 seconds via Destino to New Japan's Tetsuya Naito. The Pro Wrestling Noah promoted show titled Keiji Muto Grand Final Pro Wrestling Last Love Holdout was held inside the Tokyo Dome and featured a cross-section of talent from different promotions across the country. After Muto's loss to Naito, he then called out his longtime Three Musketeers stable member Masahiro Chono for an impromptu match. Chono, who was doing commentary on the show, then climbed into the ring and applied his STF finisher to Muto, who quickly tapped out. Muto, Chono, and the late Shinya Hashimoto led the third generation of New Japan throughout the late 1980s and into the 1990s. Both Muto and Chono had debuted for New Japan against each other on October 5th, 1984, with Muto getting the victory. In the semi-main event on the show, IWGP World Heavyweight Champion Kazuchika Okada cleanly defeated Noah's top wrestler, the Global Honor Crown Champion Kaito Kiyomiya, in 16 minutes and 32 seconds with a Rainmaker clothesline. Neither of the World Championships were on the line. In other feature matches on the show, New Japan's IWGP World Junior Light Heavyweight Champion Hiromu Takahashi defeated Noah's Amakusa. New Japan's Taiji Ishimori and Gedo teamed up to defeat Nosawa Rongai and Mazada. In a 6-man tag team match featuring All Japan against Noah, the Green Mats Keno, Katsuhiko Nakajima, and Manabu Soya defeated the Royal Road trio of Kento Miyahara, Suwama, and Yuma Aoyagi. And in another 6-man tag team match, which saw Noah take on Dragon Gate, Noah was successful there as well, with Naomichi Marufuji, Hijo del Dr. Wagner Jr., and Ninja Mac defeating Shun Skywalker Kai and Diamante. And in news from outside the ring, Ronda Rousey is currently in talks to appear in an upcoming Marvel movie, according to an exclusive report earlier this week from the pop culture and entertainment website Giant Freakin' Robot. Rousey would reportedly be playing the character of Thundra, a warrior and time traveler from the future in Captain America New World Order, the 4th movie in the Captain America franchise, currently in pre-production and scheduled for a release in May of 2024. Rousey has previously appeared on screen in such films as 2014's The Expendables 3, 2015's Furious 7 and Entourage, and 2019's Charlie's Angels reboot. And before we leave you today, we'd like to remind you that however you consume your content, you can find the wrestling news 24 hours a day and 7 days a week across social media. On Twitter, follow us at Wrestling News AV. Our Facebook page is also Wrestling News AV. The Wrestling News can also be found on the Arcadian Vanguard YouTube page. And for those who utilize Amazon Echo devices, just tell Alexa to play the Wrestling News podcast. And remember to make sure you add podcast at the end. Once again, for daily updates, breaking news, and more, follow the Wrestling News across social media. And that's the news for today. If anything happens, we will be here to tell you about it. No clickbait, no paywall, just the wrestling news. The Wrestling News is a division of Arcadian Vanguard, and the Wrestling Newscast is a production of the Arcadian Vanguard Podcast Network.